What's up, you guys? I'm back with another video. Today's video will be on transits, just the general idea of what transits do and why they're important to your birth chart and most of all your north node. Your north node and your south node are basically your life path. They describe it as like a dragon eating its own tail. So the dragon head is the north node and the dragon tail is the south node. So it's like a big cycle that you go through. So I'm going to get into that in another video, but to generalize it, your south node is basically past energies that you dealt with, past karmas, things that you're used to doing that you've mastered, and your north node is the new experiences that you're going to take on, new karmas, new energies. Everything's just fresh and new, and it's going to be the most uncomfortable path, but it's a path to your spiritual evolution. So it's important to get into that, but like I said, I'll do another video on that, but I just wanted to talk about the transits. So what I came up with yesterday was the transits are like your life lessons to your north node. And what made me come up with that is because you go through many different transits and aspects and just many different things that go on in your birth chart depending on whatever house that has a lot of planets in it and whatever house doesn't have that many planets in it or any planets at all. So for a house that has a lot of planets in it, your transits will be doing a lot of clashing and fighting with those planets. So basically, if you've looked into your birth chart, you would know that some houses have planets, some houses don't, some may just have one. It all depends. But I feel like where it gets really intense is when you have like a stellium in a house. So that's like 3 or more planets in a house. So basically what happens is the whole solar system, all the planets that are not in your birth chart, because you have natal planets and then you have like the regular solar system, and those planets do a whole 360 through everybody's chart. So basically for the houses that you may have just one planet in there, the life lesson isn't as harsh than it would be if you had like a stellium. Depending on the planet, of course, if it's like a malefic planet, then it will be a hard life lesson. But if you have a stellium, that's when there's going to be a lot of intense energies going on into a house. So there's just going to be a lot of things that are going on and a lot of experiences that you're going to be going through in whatever house you have that stellium in, plus whatever is transiting and fighting and clashing with that stellium. And then, of course, you have houses where you have no planets, but you still essentially are going to learn life lessons. It's just that transit's going to go by faster because either in your past life you've already mastered it, so it's not something that you need to pay attention to in this life, or it's, again, if you don't have any planets clashing in that house, it's not going to be like a super intense life lesson, but it's still going to be just as important as all the other ones that have planets in it or a stellium. So that's what I came up with yesterday when I was laying in bed meditating. I was like, wow, I just realized that your transits are basically like your life lessons towards your north node. And we all have our own unique north node depending on what house it's in, what sign. So basically it's like your transits are like preparing you to reach the highest peak of your north node. So basically whether you like it or not, the universe is just naturally gonna make you experience all these things, whether you're cooperative or not with the transits and with transitioning into your north node. It's best if you're cooperative and you're receptive to all the life lessons, even though it may be hard and difficult to deal with. But it's really important to just be aware and be prepared for your transit, so you're not going against any energies and you're just going with the flow of it, even if you're experiencing a really harsh and intense transit. You just go with the flow of it, because it's not going to last forever. It's going to pass. I will say, however, when you have like a stellium and a transit is going through it, going through that house with that stellium, it will last longer. It will take longer to transit through. And, that will mean that you're just going through a really hard time in your life. It's like when people say, oh, I just been going through a really hard time for the past few months or whatever. They're probably going through a really intense transit where it's just taking a long time because planets are fighting with each other, clashing with each other, mixing and mingling. It's a big mess. But, those hard times pass. And, I just wanted to inform you guys on that. And I just want to let you guys know, for any of you who are going through a hard time and it's been months since you've been going through what you're going through, just be patient with the process. Be receptive. Be open to wanting to learn and gain wisdom from whatever you're going through. And you'll make it out and you'll transform. Essentially, that's basically the whole point of your transits, to help you slowly but surely transform and, grow spiritually. And life lessons don't always mean it's a bad thing. You could go through a good transit, and either way, you're still going to be expanding and transforming, but on a positive level. Whereas if you're going through a hard transit, you're still going to be expanding and transforming, but you just went through a harsh time doing it. But either way, life lessons could be good or bad. So that's another thing. And another thing I just wanted to let you guys know is, everybody's on their own life journey. So don't compare yourself to somebody else. It's like if you see somebody else having a better time than you, they're probably just going through a good transit, and they might not be going through a bad transit at the moment, because all the transits change like every month. There's always a new set of transits, and it depends on the planet, because some planets change every month, some every 2 days, whatever, it depends. I'll do a video on that specifically, but that's just me generalizing everything. But it all depends on the planet, but every month you're going to see a whole new set of transits for that month. So somebody may be having a better month than you. So, don't envy them. Don't try to bring them down, be happy for them, and just know they're going to get their chance to go through their stormy weather as well. So it's not just you, and you're going to get your chance to go through all your good times. So, sorry. Oof, sorry. I get really gassy for some reason when I talk a lot, so excuse me. um, yeah, so I just want to give you guys a little advice and insight on, the transits, because if you've looked into your transits and you're studying your transits, you would know that you have good ones and you have bad ones. And just because you have bad ones, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Just be open and receptive, like I said, and you'll get through it. And you have to understand there are certain transits that you may be going through that somebody else may not be having to go through, depending on what their north node is and what their ascendant is. And I'll get more into that later on. But don't envy those who are in a certain spot than you. They probably already spiritually mastered whatever that you're learning, and they're just at a different level than you, and they have to just learn new, higher lessons than you. And somebody may be way far behind you, and you've mastered something that they're learning at the moment. So it's like, everybody's in their own thing. So it's important for all of us to just come together and support each other and share each other's lessons, and so we could all grow together. And for people who are going through the same things as you, don't try to compete with them. Don't try to, you know, outrun them essentially like it's some sort of race. It's not a race. Life is not a race. It's just, we're just here to experience, learn, and that's it. It's not a race. It doesn't have to be a competition. And, by doing that, you're only distracting yourself from your lessons. You're only taking away from what you're supposed to be learning because you're worried about everybody else. Stop worrying about everybody else and just worry about yourself, and you'll be good. And that's it. That's all I really wanted to share with you guys. That's just an insight that I got yesterday when I was meditating, when I woke up, because when I wake up, I like to meditate and stuff. So that's just something I came up with, and I believe that's all I have for you. If you guys have any comments, leave it below. If you have any questions, leave it below. Again, if I don't get back to you, you could email me or DM me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.